Chivalry, a complex set of ideas, demands that a knight fight bravely in defense of three masters. Tournaments, also called mock battles. Troubadours were traveling point musicians at castles and courts of Europe.
Leather saddles and stirrups were two inventions from Asia that changed the way warfare was conducted in Europe. The leather saddle kept the soldier steadily seated on the horse, and the stirrups allowed the warrior to carry weapons as well as riding the horse. The occupants of the castle were the lord and lady, their family, knights, and other men-at-arms, and servants that made their home in the castle. The themes of medieval literature with epic poetry. Feudal lords and their ladies enjoyed listening to epic poems. They talked about herds and deeds and their adventures. The latest example of an epic poem is the Song of Roland. This story talks about a group of soldiers that died in a battle during Charlemagne's kingdom.
Love poems and songs. While the code of chivalry was implemented, the knight's duty to his lord was as important as the duty to his lady. On these poems, it talked about the conflict between those two obligations.
The knights were the lowest ranking of the nobility. Their job was to support their lord. Knights enforced the laws of their lord, who enforced the law of the king. The first and most important job of the knight was to fight. They spent their lives training and getting ready to fight for their lords. When there was no war, tournaments like jousting were made so the knights had something to do. Under the code of chivalry, a knight's duty to his lady became as important as his duty to his lord. As chivalry, romantic love also had the same idea of adoring your lord as you loved and was devoted to the person you were in a relationship with. The code of chivalry made knights look more romantic and gentle than brutal. In both romantic love and chivalry, they composed short verses and songs about their joys. The main difference is that the noble woman lived pleasantly in luxury, while the peasant woman had to share only one room with all of her family, plus the animals they owned. The noble woman had a vast education, while peasant woman had nothing. Lastly, the noble woman's marriage was arranged and done at an early age, while peasants could choose whom to marry and at what age they could conceive marriage. Some things they had alike were that they had to remain home and work at their houses and that they couldn't own land.